Hello everyone, and welcome to Getting Started with Resdent, a tutorial by Good Sleep Co. In this video, you'll learn how to set up a Resdent account, register your practice locations, invite dentists and staff to your account, create patient records, and submit prescription orders. If you're returning to this video to watch a specific section, feel free to use the chapters below to skip to what you're looking for. Let's get started. If you're not familiar with Resdent, Resdent is Good Sleep Co.'s customer management platform. To access it, open your go-to browser like Chrome, Edge, Safari, or Firefox, and type app.resdentapp.com/login in the search bar. This will take you to the login page, where, if you've already set up your account, you can jump straight back in and do your thing. We highly recommend bookmarking the login page for further reference, and you can always find it on our website's resources page if you ever need it. If you're new to Resdent, select the Register Here link. This will take you to the registration page, where you can set up an individual user account. Once you fill out the form by entering your information, select the Register button, which will automatically log you into Resdent with your new credentials. Now that you've obtained access to Resdent, let's check out the navigation menu. For the most part, you're only going to use the dashboard, clinics, patients, lab cases, and invoices tabs, and maybe the MyAccount tab, unless otherwise stated. The tests, referrals, book a call, and resources tabs are not relevant to you. Let's start with the Clinics tab. Select the Clinics tab on the navigation menu to access the Clinics Manager. The Clinics Manager stores the practice locations you choose to register with Good Sleep Co. and always needs to be the first thing new customers set up after creating their user account. This is because the clinics store the shipping, communication, and patient data for our prescription-based products. To make things easy, if you have a practice that has multiple locations, you can register all those locations under the same user account and invite your team to manage them for you. We'll talk about the invite system later in the team members section, but for now, let's talk about some critical steps. While setting up your practice locations, if you have multiple you'd like to register, be sure to distinguish between them using our standard naming convention. Main practice name -identifier. For example, Demo Clinic West, Demo Clinic Colorado Springs, or Demo Clinic DQ. From there, you'll enter a main communications email. This is what Good Sleep Co. customer service reps will use to contact you in the event the lab has an issue, scans are missing, or we need to discuss significant factors that may impact the manufacture of a prescribed appliance. If your email address for invoices is different from your main communications email, enter it in the account's email field. If not, leave the field blank and it will default to the main communications email address. For the address field, please make sure to enter the entire practice address shipping location, including city, state, zip code, building number, and suite, if applicable. For the following three fields, always be sure to select United States dollar for currency, dentist for clinic type, and US for distributor. Otherwise, invoices won't be in the correct currency. You will not get access to the correct order forms when ordering Emedy products, and your appliances will not be printed in the United States. If at any point you need to update a practice location's information, you can always return to this view by selecting the Clinic Details button next to the practice location you'd like to update. To invite your team members to your practice locations, pick one of the locations you've registered and select the Team Members button. This opens the invite window, where you can enter the invitee's email address and select their role. There are two roles available, staff and admin. The difference between them is admins can update the practice location information in the Clinic Details tab and invite new team members, while staff roles cannot. So choose wisely. Keep in mind that when inviting your team members, the invites are specific to the practice locations you register. So if you want to give someone access to multiple practice locations in your account, you'll need to invite them to each individually. However, the invitee only needs to create their own account one time in total, no matter how many practice locations they're invited to. If you'd like to remove a user's access to a particular practice location, just revisit the invite window by selecting the Team Members button, and that option will be available to you. However, that user will still exist, but it won't be connected to anything. So if you want to completely delete a user, contact USA Customer Care for assistance. While not recommended for multi-branch practices or more than 3 simultaneous users at a time, you are welcome to share your login credentials with other members of your team if you prefer to use one standard login method rather than multiple users. Once you have your locations set up, it's time to add your patients. Before creating a patient record, we highly recommend checking the selected clinic. If a patient record is added to the wrong location, please do not create duplicates. Just contact USA Customer Care for assistance. To create a patient record, select the Patients tab on the navigation menu to access the Patients Manager, followed by the Create Patient button. This opens the record window, where you will be prompted to enter the patient's information into a short form. While some of these fields are required, you do not have to provide the patient's actual email address or date of birth. We recommend entering the patient's email in cases where the patient may be set up with remote monitoring in the future. Otherwise, you can bypass this field by entering the patient's first name at lastname.com. For bypassing the date of birth field, simply select a random date. To update the patient record, select the Patient Details button. This will open the record view where you can update the patient's information, see their history of lab case orders, and view their HST results. Next up, we have lab cases. Lab cases are, well, cases for the lab to manufacture. Lab cases are also referred to as orders or prescriptions, and generally refer to custom oral appliances, such as the Hushed Proavera or Zealangemedy. Please note that we do not accept physical impressions and will only accept 3D scans in .zip or STL formats. Now that you've added your patients, you're ready to create a lab case. Select the Lab Cases tab on the navigation menu to access the Order Manager. The Order Manager stores the entire history of lab cases submitted for that particular location, and also affects the monthly reports available on the Dashboard tab. To create a lab case, select the Create Lab Case button. This opens the order form, where you will be prompted to select the patient, product, enter information corresponding to the product prescription, select Add-Ons, if applicable, upload patient's bite scans, add any notes to the order, and view the projected delivery date. For custom oral appliance orders, please do not upload any supporting documents to the order form and leave this section empty. For chairside printing, contact USA Customer Care to see if this option is available. At the bottom of the form, there are several options for saving, erasing, and submitting your lab case. If the Close button is selected, the form will close and your current progress on the order form will be erased. If the Save as Draft button is selected, your lab case will be generated as a draft in your Order Manager, but it will not be submitted to our lab for production unless the draft order is opened and the Submit Lab Case button is selected. If the Submit Lab Case button is selected, the order is sent through to our lab, where the verification process begins and the order is cleared for production. If at any point the lab wishes to contact you, USA Customer Care and/or your assigned customer care representative are your points of contact. As part of your post-onboarding follow-up with Good Sleep Co-Customer Care, every customer receives an up-to-date copy of our scanner connection instructions, which display a list of all scanner portals we have a direct integration with. If you have any questions regarding scanner integration or did not receive your scanner instructions, please contact USA Customer Care for assistance. On the order form, you may see a variety of Add-On products, including our Morning Occlusal Guide, or MOG, and Hushed Sense Monitoring Kit. While the Hushed Sense is an over-the-counter, at-home monitoring device that customers and patients can purchase independent of a mandibular advancement product, the MOG is a custom oral appliance that requires the patient's closed-mouth bite scans in order to be manufactured. For questions regarding the MOG or Hushed Sense, contact USA Customer Care or visit our website. Once you submit an order, you may see its status field update with one of the following statuses listed on the left. But not all statuses listed apply to every product order. For manufactured items, when the order's status updates to the On the Way stage, you will receive access to the order's tracking information, as well as the invoice draft, as seen here. Please note that our current carrier is FedEx, and if your package does not arrive or arrives with items missing or damaged, please contact USA Customer Care for assistance. When your lab case orders reflect the On the Way status, that order's invoice will become available to you in our Invoices tab. Select the Invoices tab in the navigation menu to access the Invoice Manager. The Invoice Manager displays a list of both paid and unpaid invoices, separated by section, and labeled with each corresponding lab case number and patient. To view the full invoice, select the View button next to the corresponding invoice. This will open a separate window where you can add a payment method for unpaid invoices, view GSC payment information, or download a copy as a PDF file. If you have questions or need assistance paying your invoices, please contact Good Sleep Co. Accounting via receivables at goodsleepco.health and CC USA Customer Care. As mentioned previously, you may occasionally need to access the MyAccount tab. This tab provides options for you to reset your password, update your user information, and add a default payment method. If at any point you cannot access your account to reset your password, please contact USA Customer Care for assistance. As mentioned several times during this video, USA Customer Care is your go-to for questions, both clinical and non-clinical, tech support, scanner assistance, case evals, and direct-to-lab communication. They are available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. via phone or info@goodsleepco.health. You are also welcome to reach out to your assigned customer care representative via their email or direct phone number. Or if you do not know your assigned customer care representative's information, feel free to request that information from customer care directly. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to serving you.